All righty, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. It's your boy David coming back at you live. It is a happy Thursday, June 6th, 2024. Let's get started here with our market news and we'll jump into our watch list. We got a few more for the books. The S&P 500 hit a new record yesterday, rising 1.18% to close at 5,354.03 points. The index also hit a new intraday all-time high of 5,354.16 during the session. The NASDAQ Composite likewise rose to a new record, climbing 1.96% to 17,187.90 points. Meanwhile, the Dow Jones Industrial Average trailed slightly by comparison as the index rose 0.25% to close out the session at 38,807.33 points. So that's what we got here this morning with the news. Now jumping into our watch list. We are going to go take a look at VRAX. This is our number one gainer this morning here on the stock side. Currently is trading at $2.73. So let's take a look at on this company real quick on VRAX. Okay. So currently trading at 277. Looks like it's making a nice higher lows right now. $3 natural resistance coming on up. United Kingdom biotech company at 1.7 million in float. So very low float stock. If we look at if there's any press release today this morning, there is nothing on VRAX. Okay. So VRAX will be seeing if we can get this. I got a line, pretty much $3 if this continues to get every 25 cents. Right now I got 275 here, a little bit of support. I wouldn't chase into this though at the market opening because it's just been grinding up this whole time. So yeah, I'm gonna put a line that's at $3 here as well. So that's what we got so far on VRAX. So if it comes back down on the pullback, I like to see if we can get that grab again near the trend line, but we'll see. Moving forward, I have the FRGT here. It's a top third gainer trading at $1.01. Pretty much $1 natural support. 93 cents was a great entry play all the way up to here, 136. So this has been pretty much the main play of the pre-market session. FRGT is running up or has so far on credible press release. They did add 26 new customers and 149 new carriers in 2024. So brand new press release, 4.6 million in float, USA software company. Okay. So pretty much we'll be watching for this now that it came all the way down to $1. See if we can get out of the reversal, out of the downtrend line here again. There'll be a good opportunity here, $1, and you probably don't want to risk much more below the 93 cents here. All right, moving on to the next stock, ISPC's next. This one was also a great trade of the morning here from the 43, running up to 55, and now back down to 43. So 43 now, previous resistance, now a little bit of support here. We need to start establishing support here again. Buyers come back in, and we need to wedge out of this downtrend line here for this to pop back up again to 55. And then you had as high as like what 69 cents earlier, so previously. So we'll be watching for those potential areas. This is a USA healthcare company, 6.6 million float, and ISPC this morning does not have any news. Okay. Moving forward, I have VNDA next. VNDA is currently right here, trading at $6.47. I'm looking for a solid candle break at 650. You can clearly see there's a lot of resistance here right now. All it needs is a little bit more volume to kick in. Buyers come in at the 650, and I think VNDA has potential for a nice, decent run there. So looking at the company, VNDA, this is a USA biotech company, 55 million flow. So it's not your, usual low flow stock, a little bit higher end. So expect to be a little bit slower mover. They did announce all cash proposal to acquire, or I guess another company, Cycle Pharmaceuticals, is looking to acquire this company here, the Vanda company, Vanda Pharmaceuticals, for $8 per share. Okay. And they did confirm the receipt of this unsolicited, non-binding indication of interest from Cycle Group Holdings. All right. The 650 area that I'll be watching for closely. Candle break is key there. Candle break is key. Lots of wicks into that. So don't be a dodo bird and just keeps falling for the 650 wicks, 650 candle break. All right. And then last but not least, I have the BNRG. So BNRG is just right below here in the gainers list under VNDA. The same thing here. So they're making lower highs and lower low look. So you're going to have to wait until this wedges out of this downtrend line here. Also an opportunity though to see if it's going to be able to hit that, looks like 80-90 EMA here on the 1 minute, and then see if it's going to bounce back up towards VWAP. And then if it has more leg, you will have to do and wait for the VWAP roll. So we'll see how BNRG, plays out today. This one particular, this is an Israel utility company. So under 1 million flow, so it's very low flow. So micro flow is going to be very fast mover once volume comes in. If volume comes in, Bren Miller and Rock Energy Storage signed exclusive distribution agreement covering Northeast US. So we have that press release here this morning. All right, market's going to open up here in 3 seconds. 2, 1, ding, ding, dong. Let's have a great day, folks. So right now, NQ, I'm going to wait out. I mean, I did trade here in pre-market a couple times, just following the trend. The trend's cracking right now at the market opening because, again, it's been running up, 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 up at the reversal. So it tends to do a little bit of opposite move or dip a little bit. Now we need to confirm the crack of that, but it is looking a little bit like a pullback right now to the, let's see. Yeah, on the 5-minute chart, we have the 200 on the 5 that did test and got a nice bounce off that mark. So on the 15-minute chart, if you're looking at that, that's going to be the 50 EMA there. So right now we're making lower highs and lower lows as the trend line cracks here on the 5-minute as well. After making all-time highs yesterday, we are probably going to be, well, actually this morning just now too, but let's just see how the NASDAQ reacts today. Right now it's up 13 points. VRAX is still #1 gainer, remember, but 275 needs to re-break. It did come down to that trend line. FRGT, like I said, was the best trade of the morning here in pre-market, $1 support, and now it is trying to wedge back up. MITQ, MWG, ISPC. Okay, so right now on the 5-minute, it was a wick. It's trying to pull back up here. Let's see. FRGT overall right now it's bullish as it's reversed out of the downtrend line. UPST, MGRX, FRGT. Okay, so NQ on the 5-minute chart looks like it's wedging back up. Again, market is going up on the NASDAQ now, up 40 points. So, buyers are still at it. Looks like VRAX, #1 gainer, is breaking that 275 again here. So if you bought back at that trend line, looks like it's working out. $3 natural resistance. So till then, you got about 20 points now, sitting at 280. So right now NQ, we're coming up to last 1 minute here on the first 5-minute candle. Right now, it's a little bit on the iffy side here on NQ, and it's going to need to hold above this trend line in the next 20 seconds. Otherwise, we're going to start wedging out. So be smart.
FRGT. GL. DS. MFI. BTSG. 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 SBTSG. RDDT. ISPC. TONC. LPA. LPA. COP. LPA. LPAG. ASNS. MLGO. LPA. NBB.
Okay, VRAX, now that it's dying, FRGT should start taking off further. So we got 120 next on FRGT. So that's going to be my next area for the candle break at 120. So if it's going to be able to break through that 120, great.
Northeast. Shot. Right. GNLN. BLE. One.
Okay, 120 breaking. Now we need to build 120 as support.
Replace.
NQ is a little bit iffy right now. I'm kind of staying put. It's not, has a lot of resistance. It's just in an iffy area right now. If it's, I think this candle wedges out, it's going to start dropping back down to 200 to 5. Okay, guys, FRGT. Hopefully you guys were able to lock in here. First quick, nice pop. Again, we need to get 120 as our new support. So if you want to see another retry, we need the 120 here. 134 is the up halt here on the FRGT. 1.34 up halt. showing. So we got 120 to 130 so far. We need to build 120 to continue to build that higher low for us to, you know, get that bigger move.
Hard place. Hard leg. Hard beat. H11. SF Finance, HXX. 4. DLE. Funds. LPSF. IAS. GNLN. Bud. EMS.
So far, we got 130 for now. 120 did not become support. Waiting for other movements. Not seeing them yet.
GNLN. CCM. NBOS. AKHR. RVP. 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 RSI. SFINs.
120 still waiting for that support. RJT is not over yet. This is the main play this so far in pre-market, so you want to try to pay attention here a little bit more because
ESTM. IAS. VGXX.
yeah, VRAX did get a bounce from the 500 EMA. Watch out here on NQ. Too much resistance at this 19010 line. FRGT, come on, baby. We're making a nice higher low. This is a classic dip down to the 200 at the market opening, and we should start seeing a continued move here. I like to see that pre-market high break, which is like that 135 mark. So
UNFI. CRC. FGEM. LSG. MT. SMR. PLG. 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 RIDE. UNFI. ZPTSLL. ULG. DX. GTRX. HUD. LPA. AEHR.
okay, so this 120 here. It's our latest trade, still working.
RLAY. BTDR.
Pulling back to the VWAP on NQ. So right now we're waiting for FRGT to now really hold the 120 again, because I mean, I don't want to keep seeing 120 like kind of go back up and down, up and down. Like I want to see 120 really solidifying here. Now FRGT pretty much we're at 100%, but I think the bulls will want to try to take it up above the 100% mark. 136, 1.36 now up halt. So raise it up a little bit more. Just make sure we don't see that 120 VWAP area crack on FRGT. Okay, just in case if FRGT does not, take off further since 120 is still being a battle. I mean, I'm hoping that's 120 holds, but if it doesn't, then just be on the lookout for the VRAX, because VRAX is trying to go for the VWAP roll, and it might try to make another new high of the day. Right now, RSI is bearish here on NQ, and we are not being able to get up above that line. So I think we need a little further pullback. We're testing the trend line again here on NQ, and the VWAP now is cracking further, but Nasdaq's still holding up all right. Yeah, right now the 5-minute chart looks bearish, so we're probably gonna start cracking down here unless this wicks down. So I got 5 seconds on the 1 minute on the NQ, waiting for that to see the next candle. Yeah, we're still bearish here. And like I said, we'll probably try to come back down, testing that line. Okay, NASDAQ kind of going red a little bit, but let's see if it kind of holds this area or not. Be on the lookout for VRAX on the side. Okay, we're rising back up again. So cover pop on the near the 200 on the 5.
RLD1, replace, RLD1. Replace. TNTL, sit up, CL.
The RAX not going for the 275 candle break yet. Sitting tight right now. Still on FRGT, waiting to see the bigger move.
SM, NHCL, EGY. Replace, MWG.
Not looking too good for the bulls right now as market is taking a beating a little bit or going to the red.
LSM, MSR, DFLI. MSL.
I'm just gonna wait for the NQ here. Or sorry, the FRGT and NQ right now just did test the 200. It is still on the lower high and lower low pattern, so I would just be patient.
MNDR.
A little bit slower start. Right now, market is just kind of wiggling back and forth around the neutral zone where market's trying to go green, it goes green, and it goes back to the red. So it's having a little bit of turbulence, and traders are kind of just sitting tight right now. And right now on the small caps too, just FRGT, and then you're waiting for the other, I would say VRAX, VNDA slowly recovering, but the higher flow, so it's going to be a little bit slower.
BLN, FBLT.
Q looks like it might. I'm gonna draw a little potential higher low line here. If that cracks, then yes, we will continue to plunge down. Right now, market needs to recover back on the NASDAQ here. All the major news is done, so we don't need to worry about anything else like at 10 o'clock or anything like that. All eyes still on FRGT. Don't get distracted. Just stay put for now at 120 here. As long as around this 120 is holding like a magnet, we should be okay here for the bigger move.
Right, FIBN. NNBC, NNBC, UN at
Q not looking good here. It needs to bounce off that level. Otherwise, we're gonna make another new low of the day. It's looking like a little maggot. FRJT has potential for more. 138 up right now. Somebody uppercut this guy. It's on SSR. Thank you. 138 now, FRGT. Just in case, locking some in. And then now we're gonna wait for the uphold here, 138. Came down to this still area here right now on NQ, still holding out. 141, they're raising up a little bit now. 141, they raised it up. Like I said, don't sleep on FRGT. This is where the money's at. You look at some other little maggot and you miss that big pop. You've been sitting there all 15 minutes. 141 uphold still. NQ made a lower low and should continue to make lower lows as long as it's making lower highs. Just getting a little bit on the oversold territory. So buyers might be looking at that as a potential buy. 143 uphold on FRGT. Okay, so market opening, first winning trade officially is FRGT. It's a great trade in pre-market and also proven to be a great trade in the morning. Why was this a good one to really major focus on? We always talk about you want to focus on, if you're the type that don't trade in pre-market, look for the stocks that have been running all the way down. And as market opens, you see that is at 200. Buyers are going to buy. That's going to be considered a great buy. And this is what's going to cause this now to continue that momentum. You don't want to be buying the top gainers, let's say, that are, that looks attractive because it's up high, but, in pre-market, it's been running up, and you got a short window, only like 5 minutes or 10 or so. And then next thing you know, it just starts fading. And that's where a lot of traders, get wrecked, is because with these small caps, you just got to understand the game. All these guys that buy up there, they chase, and then they always wonder why the heck it's never working out for them. It's because like 8 out of 10 times that stock is pretty much dead. As shorts come in, and then they're just gonna run it back all the way down. It's a pump and dump, and some of them you have to be smart. Like, it could be a rally going on, and it could continue to squeeze, but obviously the squeeze is not going to happen on every single day. But once that MLGO started, like I said, you have to be more cautious on these continued pops, even though they're up 100, 200, 300%, because people are excited when they see these big runs. Lots of day traders, they're going to start really buying in more, and so this is going to cause a bigger volatility move up. So now we got a 147 uphold here. Continue making lower highs and lower lows here on NQ. Let it just drain down the toilet because NASDAQ's taking a beating now. But we're now at the pink deviation line, so this is not where you want to short. You want to wait until it cracks on the body. Wait for the confirmation, because it's kind of still on a little bit on the over. So I think there's still a little more room to run down there, but not your ideal area. You want it to be more on this side and get a meat of the move here, not this little this cracks. You still probably won't be able to see that, but the only thing that I don't like about it is we're pretty close to the oversold. So anyways, this trend line cracks, we should continue, but let me put that line there real quick. Uphold right now on FRGT is 149. Okay, 149 now. Sparta, or sorry, one of the message I got was, how did I know FRGT was the one? So someone asked me, how did I know FRGT was the one? Is there anything we need to look for to identify this? I'm not going to say 1000%. I just 1000% all knew. So I went all in because I knew for 1000% sure that the FRGT was going to run. It's not 1000%. It was like 89%, right? Like, it was high probability. You get my point, right? Why? Because I look at all my other competing biggest gainers, other stocks, other setups, and if they're not, nowhere near like, the float that I like, the setup based on the chart, the daily chart, how much room it has. I mean, the moment I saw it break 93 right there, that was around, the 500 on the daily. And then you got all this room all the way up to this mark here. I had a line. So these are just my previous lines. So, you always got to look at the daily chart here. And, you can see back on the April 26th, went up here. Now, what happens if 135 area here becomes support? Well, we got room all the way up to, I got a line of 160. And then, we can continue to go 160 to $2. I mean, the daily I see, we can go even higher. So, I like the low float names under 10 million. And, if it has like the room to run the daily, that's what I really like to see. Not only that, it was just one of those names that just came all the way down. There's a classic pull down to the 200 at the market opening, and then buyers are gonna really come in and get that nice juice. You can see the 14 EMA here is starting to curl down below 50, so that's not a good indication, obviously. So 135, and then keep watching here for that continued run. 153 now up, Paul. They're gonna try to take this up step by step staircase. So let me zoom out of the daily chart so you can see here the room it has. That next big line is gonna be 160 area there. We're still making lower highs and lower lows here on NQ. Should make another lower low unless this becomes a double bottom area here at a 19032 line. So I do want to put a little line there because we do need some more new lines since we are in a new territory since yesterday. You don't need 10 trades or 5 stocks of the day. You just need to focus on finding that one stock that will get the herd and focus on that. It's kind of like, NQ. You're just focusing on NQ, right? All you need to know is their support resistance lines, trade off those, get the meat of the move, get the quick scalps if you feel like you're reaching the end of the tail, have tight stops. Like if there's more range, then don't have tight stops. If there's more room to run, keep adding more on these breakout levels, resistance levels. Don't play it too safe on these names. You can go in bigger. You can size up. This is how when you get the bigger days, you play safe on these big names when there's big volume, and then you go in big on these low like volume days. Like, you can't do that. So it looks like this area here became kind of a double bottom here. Like I said, 19032, and it's like kind of getting a bounce here in Q. We just got this FRGT hold it up at 156. Congratulations.
MTL.
So it's gonna be a 5-minute halt, most likely.
FLI. MRUS. CG. BNAI. FLI. Go and empty. Finance.
Nice bounce there.
Replace.
FRGT again, 10:06 and 30 seconds is going to be down the whole time.
XPOH. XPOM. VSCO. MNDR.
VNDA is trying to creep back up to 650. ONMD, we're back above all indicators. We were looking for that 218 break. That was a previous very strong resistance in the previous days. So that's why I was looking for that 218 to break. But now I would say, after getting a big beating on ONMD, it's getting a little bit of a recovery, right? So I'd say another area that's going to have hard time is going to be that 197 area on ONMD. I think this is, yeah, I mean, it's making some recovery. So just expect to see continued nice 10 EMA ride towards 197. If it doesn't, then it's just going to be another dump. So I would just personally watch that area. Okay, so nice bounce there on NQ. Now we are looking again. Why was it a nice area? Because again, it got to that oversold territory. It hit that nice 30 RSI, great area to get in. Notice that double bottom happen. You don't have to catch that right there and then. If you start seeing it start bouncing, you can catch it even halfway there and then sell it into the pink deadline or the 200, right? So you can also draw on the 1 minute chart and you'll see that it hit the trend line there, downtrend line there. That was a good area to short into. And then you'll probably see this thing taking another little bit of beating. But if it starts making a higher low here, then yeah, you can look for if NASDAQ does recover out more, then you can look for that reversal. So a couple of things you still have to look for here, right? As you're trading NQs, just look at the market overall indices. SPY, when it goes green, NASDAQ tends to follow as well. But right now on the 5 minute chart, you can see here it's got a doji, and then the second candle here is starting to open up above that middle, that doji right there. That's usually a good area that I like to put a line there. And then I'll draw my line right there. So that's going to be like 19,058 area there or so. So that line here needs to become support. If we crack below that, then it's going to not be good again. But as long as holding that, we should be wedging out and continue to be back on the bullish side again. Probably 1 minute chart VWAP on NQ is probably where the traders are probably going to want to get their taste at again. So NASDAQ is recovering back up a little bit. So it's just one of those days where it's going to have a little pulley, back and forth, tug of war. Yesterday, when the market is making all-time highs, it's not the easiest because, I mean, you don't have history. You don't have history of like, well, what was the previous, 52-week high? What was the previous resistance? It's just now you're relying on, most of the technical traders are going to be relying on the trend lines. Well, it has room all the way up here. It's above this indicator, it's above this, that. So let's just keep riding. So like, you can do that, but it's also, you got to watch out for those news times when, let's say 10 o'clock, you had open position and you had no plan. That 10 o'clock would have been, I mean, it was like literally wicked all the way down and wicked all the way up, right? So it stopped probably a lot of people. If people had stops, that is. If you didn't and your account is big enough to withhold that type of drawdown, then you'd be fine. But you just have to know where you are at. Like that's why you can't just blindly follow one person and do exactly, because that person may not have the same exact account size, your risk appetite, it's all different. So you have to understand, okay, what is your risk appetite? If you're looking to play this 160 here, which is not where I would like to play, why? Because why would you do that? That's where the guys that got in here at 120 was the big target, 160. Now, If the momentum continues, can we now restart to $2? Yes, if the 160 becomes support. Yeah, that's fine, but we need to cool off a little bit, just like anything. And then, maybe at this point, what are we looking for on FRGT? Let it cool off down to the 10 EMA. See if it becomes that 10 EMA bull flag. Now, if it does successfully 10 EMA bull flag at about 148 here, then we got a good shot for continuation. Because I don't believe 168 is a high day number. I think it's going to continue to go up towards, like, I have a line all up to 205 next on either chart. So we got a good shot here. Just right now, I would just focus on this 10 EMA. And now the 10 EMA does crack, the next area of support that you could look for is going to be the 25 EMA, which is going to be around 137. So I'm going to put a line, which was about 135, 137 area here. So you don't want to be buying in between support and resistance, right? You could try some at 10 EMA, but I mean, I wouldn't do that personally because it already showed that it dipped down to the 25. Now, if FRGT was just right at 10 EMA the whole time and never tested the 25, then that's a different story. But it already tested the 25. So the 25 EMA really is your hero, like, EMA on the momentum side, and the big dip level is going to be the 200 because that's where it started from the market opening. So you kind of have to, like, you don't try to catch a falling knife here, right? Just wait until it plunges all the way down towards that area. That's a better buy right there, around that 135, 137. Now, would you potentially get filled? You may not. Maybe you will. But either way, right now we are into the 10 EMA, so we still need to kind of watch for that potential 10 EMA bull flag setup still. Got a little wick into the 10 EMA. Didn't come down to 25 just quite yet. Let's kind of go back to NQ here. We have the candle here starting to wedge out, which is a good sign, but again, I rather wait for that resistance to break because it could be a fake out and then drops back down again. So let's see if we can get this thing breaking the 19074 line here. We have another resistance there that I want to put 74 line right there. Excuse me. So I think we're starting to build a little bit of power load and really wedge out here. That would be great. Would be a good look. I think the bulls will try to want the VWAP, but 19074. Wait till it breaks. See that? Right now, still having resistance. You got breakthrough. I think 109074 really becomes support. Now, remember, you also need to watch out for this 14 EMA. This classic where the NQ dips, below the 14, goes up down, and then pops back up towards 14. That's going to be resistance. So, okay. Mr. FRGT, the longer it does, it's a good thing for the bulls because the 25 EMA is curling up now. It's above the 135. So now you're not going to get 135. You're going to see more towards 140s now. So this is the moment here where this chart looks, this line looks off. This is not exactly how it should look. Sometimes I don't do it to the exact T here. Sometimes trade ideas is a little bit off too, but I still haven't yet gotten that yet. So I'm waiting for that. ONMD, ONMD is at 197 now. So Green Hornet, I know you were looking for that 197. Here it is. Watch for that 197 candle break. Yeah. So 197 came up. Like I said, it should, as long as it's running a 10 EMA on ONMD. Let me show you what I was talking about here. ONMD, as long as it's running a 10 EMA, it should come up to 197. So 197 here, told to $2, obviously $2 whole number resistance. So you want to sell around 197 to $2 here after a nice this line here 165. Why was there a 165 line? I don't know. I guess I had one in the previous pass, but definitely touched that to the T. And I believe earlier in the morning, by the way, it's coming up a little bit into the 14 EMA. We were looking for that 218, right? So again, we have a big levels to we got to still clear is $2 and then 218 level. So we got to really drill through that 218, 220 line, and then we should be seeing it more. But right now, you don't want to be chasing because we're facing another first resistance line here. And then once it becomes support, then you can talk about you can dream about 220s. All right, so NQ looking still higher lows, but again, that 14 EMA is going to be a tricky area there. This is a wick into a lot of shorts are going to try to get in when they see the NASDAQ still being down. So on the 1 minute, it is still kind of holding this upper trend line here. So let's go ahead and draw a line. So this is what's going on here on NQ right now. Just a friendly reminder again, tomorrow and Monday will be my last trading day until I take a vacation, and Cousin A will take over 11th through the 14th. I'll be gone that week pretty much after Monday trading.
Maya, Maya. Maya. AKRO. BLE. CODX. CODX. BLN. BLN. OL.
Okay, NQ, we gotta really wedge back up here. That 14 EMA sitting around 19,075, which we talked about 9074 area as a big resistance. So I'm a little iffy in this area here. You know, this is not the area that I love to buy in. It's a tricky area. I'd rather wait until it makes another higher high, and then this area becomes support. Then we can move up nicely. So again, keep in mind on the 5-minute chart, you see that area? Look at that, it's getting rejected right there. See that? It's an iffy area. Keep in mind that there's 12 ammunition rounds on the 5-minute, meaning you have 12 trades to make every 5 minutes. Doesn't mean you have to take all 12 shots. Okay, you can take within 12 shots, 3 shots in the whole hour, right? There's 12 5 minutes in one hour, right? So overall, the RSI is still bullish, so the 5-minute chart, it may try to take one more up here. So far, I got a wick. So, let's go revisit FRGT here, guys. Okay, so what did I say? Wait till it comes down near this 135 to 137 line. It hit 137, didn't it? See that? That's when you want to have your buy order set and then have a stop as well on it.
SMG. SMG.
So buyers came in at 135, 137 level there. That's what we talked about, right? And now you want to see that nice run up because the 25 EMA has been your hero EMA. So it came down to the 25. And now we're starting to wedge out of the downtrend line. This is it. This is where the bulls need to come in here. This is their opportunity moment to shine. So 158 is now the up pulse here. So I'll remind you here on the new up pulse 158 now. They'll probably try to move it up again, but right now it's at 158. Starting to see some buyers coming back in here, looking pretty good. Now you know that we don't want to risk much below that line. So we're good. We know our stop levels. Like we don't want to see that going below that. Now we just need to now take it back up towards 160. If you are on ONMD, yes, wait for the 197 candle break. We talked about establishing that base around that level to $2 and then get that leg up towards that very strong 218 line there later. And Q just it's a little bit of a struggle bus right now. I think we're gonna start draining down the toilet now since it unfortunately is starting to crack a little bit, but you know, it's 5 minute chart. You got 43 seconds. The next candle should try to reveal.
Turn. EQ.
We gotta keep pushing here on FRGT. Got 8 seconds on that candle and Q. Wait for the next candle. They might try to push it up a little bit here. It's a doji, so it could be a doji wick up and wick down. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen here on this candle. I think they need to take it one more down here on NQ.
IRTC.
NASDAQ still down 34 points now.
Turn. VLE. IRTC. Shot. VRKR. SMG. SMG. OM. A. Turn. A. 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 BRKR. NBB. A. AINT. A. MIGL. OM. XCOM. XCOM.
Okay, looking good here on FRGT. That 160 is gonna be tough.
BRNT. XPOM. A. SMG. MHUA. MHUA. Up.
Okay, and Q now flipping back up. That's the VWAP just now. $160 still needs to break.
Maya. BRKR.
And Q is trying to go green again, but be mindful of these areas, the VWAP.
GYM. Turn. LIXT. LIXT. Maya. FRGT. CSWC. SMG. IRTC. Go. Go.
Okay, FRGT, new high today. 173 is the up halt next. So hopefully you guys are taking this up.
Go. IRT. IRTC.
Okay, so we got a new high there. Remember, always lock in at a new high today. Got 170 now. Again, 160 area. We need to start really building support there.
SY. It's ONMT. TST. FRGT.
Okay, so now we're halted down at 140 here on FRGT here at 146, excuse me. So
And
okay, we got 2 minutes till 10:30. The stretch break is coming on up. So I will get off the mic for like 5 minutes.
BRDM. NUPL. GDYM. ATAC. SY. TSBT.
Okay, right now we're facing a little bit of resistance line on NQ on the VWAP on the 1 minute, and as well as the 5 minute. It's getting rejected there. We need to push it up.
A. TLS. A. WRT. CSWC. RBRK. L.
All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and take a quick stretch break while FRGT is halted down. It should get unhalted here at 10:33, 23 seconds. So you got about three minutes here. All right, so I'll be on the lookout for any like 11 a.m. rubber dip setups. ONMD is looking good. So like I said, if FRGT's pulling back, you could look for ONMD 197 just broke through, and now we're coming up towards 218. So that is looking good there. If 218 ever does break, that's going to be a big thing for ONMD today, which is going to be very tough. But if it does, it will be great for the bulls. All right, be back here soon. All right, guys, I'm back. So we are seeing ONMD still hold $2, and you got currently, FRGT still at the 25 right now. So we are gonna have to look for that level. And Q is trying to push up here, went green, but we got another resistance coming on up, so I would just wait till the next candle personally. FRGT might be testing our first 50 EMA now.
That makes you wait. She's up on the down. You want that back. Yeah. See. From place. And okay, but you are. It doesn't well keep shut. BRNT.
Okay, we got about now 22 minutes to 11 a.m. river dip time.
Double well shot. No left, no right. And okay. Right. So. MITI. SPIG. ELTS. ELTS. Shot. UREO. CT. TFCI. Double down. But. So.
Okay, I do want to look for one more trade. I like ONMD right now. If we can get that back above the 10 EMA, then we start wedging out. I think FRGT is still fair. It's at a danger level with the death cross potentially. So you do need to kind of keep that in mind, potential death cross. And then this could just come back down to 120. So you might need to wait. Right now, you got that 137 support.
SY. IRTC.
Thank you. It's gonna need to pull back down to the 50 EMA. I know we're still kind of building a little bit higher low, but it is tough area right now.
LIST. TFCI.
Remember, we have a lot of wicks into the 650 level on VNDA, so we do need to really pierce through that mark.
Square. EPS. WYSA. CRDM. DLPS. J double L dot. APLD. CLDS. NIBM. LMLY. Right. LTS. HUD. Fund. Shop. FPRR. EDBL. Right. G double EDL. MIGL. Shop. CLDS. HUD. Current. XXII. J double.
Okay, guys, so we're just sitting tight right now. NQ, I think we're gonna have a lot of resistance here. The pink dev is not too far off, but it's just one of those days where it's getting very wishy-washy. Take the trade on the long, on the bottom, sell into it when it's getting up there. I would just be safe than sorry today after a huge run up yesterday. Other than that, I think we really nailed the big trade today on FRGT, and so I'm happy with that. And just if you guys are sticking around later this afternoon, I would watch my top three stocks probably. I think this BNRG also has potential for the VWAP role. It hasn't done anything yet, but I do want to leave a play for this because I think BNRG has another move left up its sleeve. So there's a pretty good area we got breakthrough is 135 in my opinion. So I would watch BNRG. So in case if it does get a VWAP roll there at 135, that should be a nice one. I do think NQ needs a little bit of a further pullback before, continuing up because every time it pulls back, we test down to that trend line.
You are on what? DRS. You are on what? But. DLTS. Data. BRNT. Data. Data minus 8.
NQ pulling back as it should.
MLTX. 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 GNLM. GNLM.
Okay, there's that, like I said, trend line on NQ. Still has 3 minutes and 30 seconds left.
HUNA. Yes, TALP. -8. XXII.
Market slid back into red again. So again, it's just one of those days where he's gonna go ping pong back and forth here on futures.
But right. NOS. Yes.
Bouncing off the line here again. The 73 line.
FUT. But RBSM.
And NQ starting to recover back up again. Just to try to do this back and forth movement. Should try to test that upper trend line again at one point. Back above VWAP in the 1 minute. Trying to curl back up.
BWLB. But NLP. BIOR. BLM. BWLB.
Okay, back to the pink deadline in the 1 minute, and now nice balance off that trend line here on NQ. If you guys got that.
BRNT. CNA.
So back to the slight green again on NQ futures, NASDAQ.
IG. ATRs. NNBC, NNBC. LPS. Now.
Okay, fellas, we got 3 minutes till 11 a.m. I'm gonna do one more rundown, but it's been a great day with FRGT. So hopefully you guys banked on that one. Okay day on futures. It's just a lot of bouncing back and forth. So if you can just kind of watch the trend line, you should be okay. VRAX just let's see what happened to VRAX here. We needed to see that strong 275 break. It just never happened. That was a strong resistance line we talked about. And so, VRAX, I think at this point, it's not going to be something that I'd be interested in unless it gets a VWAP roll later, but it's below VWAP. A lot of stocks below VWAP. It's going to be tough. Same thing on AONC. So look for stocks that are below VWAP and then see if they can come back up to a VWAP roll. That's what I will look for. Looks like WISA got a herd move here. WISA could be a runner. WISA is known to be a runner as well. So $3 here. We had my last line at 330 here. Looks like it hit. If we look at the daily chart, 330. That's gonna be tough. I mean, there is more room, but that 330 is gonna be a really big key area for it to break. So you can watch, keep your eyes on WISA. Okay, WISA. Worth watching. 3 support right now and 330 resistance. So 330 current support, 330 RES resistance. So you can keep an eye on that one if it gets more volume later. VNDA. We have 650 here as the still the big resistance line. So you can keep an eye on that one. Set up an alarm or something on your broker. So when it does come up to a certain point, you can get alarmed. I'll put WISA here for now just to see how this reacts. You have another line here. So if you want to take up a play, I would watch for this 311 for a solid break to move to 330, and then 330 breaks, you got more room towards like $4. So
Double well.
all right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for me for now, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. What a great Thursday. Looking forward to a fast morning Friday, a good one tomorrow. Let's keep up the good work, folks. Have a blessed day, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.